Now, this morning, we're reacting to the news that Nottingham Forest have decided to move on from Nuno, which is another way of saying he's been sacked.
Yeah.
It comes after last season was one very much to remember at the City Ground.
Listen to that roar from the Nottingham Forest fans. Finishes at Anfield, Liverpool 0, Nottingham Forest 1.
Forest fans are loving every second of it.
The whole thing that Nuno has put together is just working unbelievably well, and the players believe in everything the manager's telling them.
They like that. Oh, they like that. Nottingham Forest beat Manchester City by a goal to nil.
This place is alive now, the City Ground.
Right foot delivery towards Wood. He's beaten the goalkeeper to it. He's headed it in, and this one will count surely. Nottingham Forest deservedly lead at Tottenham by 2 goals to nil.
It is Nottingham Forest at their very best.
I think we are doing really well, really well.
Cannot ever forget the effort of these players through the season.
When you think about where he has taken that club to and where they were when he picked them up, it is simply sensational.
Low into the corner, and it is 7-0. And it's 7th heaven for Nottingham Forest.
I can't actually quite believe the season that we're having. Nuno Santo, oh my goodness, he deserves the freedom of the city.
He didn't get the freedom of the city. No. He ended up getting the sack from Evangelos Marinakis. But it's an amazing run, didn't he? Took them from relegation, effectively, to spending most of the season in the top 4, eventually qualifying for the Europa League, admittedly courtesy of Crystal Palace being axed from their position there. But things have not been right behind the scenes. Here's what Nuno said about his relationship with Marinakis just last month.
I always had a very good relationship with the owner. Last season was very, very, very close, almost daily basis. This season, not so well. But I always believe that dialogue and what you say or your opinion is always valid, because my concern is the squad and the season that we have ahead of us. But our relations has changed.
It's changed.
Yeah, it's not so close. It's not on a daily basis. So, yeah.
Is that a good thing, though? Or?
No, it's not good. It's not good. I think everybody at the club should be together, but it's not a reality.
And yeah, I think it was just an inevitability after that, wasn't it? It was a matter of time.
Yeah. It really was. I mean, but I'll say it again. He knows exactly what he's doing there.
Yeah.
I mean...
Well, I didn't understand why he said it at the time, but now that you suggested that, I get that.
Jeff, he knows... Right, we just spoke about it. He has done incredibly well with Forest, right? As you correctly say. Can he improve them again this year and take them to the next level? Maybe. But I would suggest the smart money would say no, right? They've got European football to look forward to. I mean, can Forest realistically do better than they've done last year in terms of European football, FA Cup semi? Yes, of course. I mean, naturally, been better if they could go and win a cup. But the chances of doing that, I think, are less than him than the team actually standing still or slightly going back the way. So he knows his stock right now is as high as it's been in years.
Yeah.
Right? Now, this isn't a fact I'm making, it's just a potential. Well, it's an opinion and a potential for something that could be happening. He maybe thinks, I'm not sure I can do any more here. Right? Now, he's clearly had a rift with the owner. Right? He clearly knows he ain't winning that battle. Nobody's winning that battle at Forest, apart from one man. So why would he do it? Why would he do it?
Yeah.
Do you think that he thinks he's in a strong enough position not to get sacked?
No.
Of course he doesn't.
Of course not. Nobody's in that strong a
Correct.
Look, let's get more on this and find out how it all developed. Late last night, it was very late last night, with talkSPORT's chief football correspondent, Alex Crook. Morning, Alex.
Morning, Crookie.
Good morning. It certainly was late last night. I just got into bed after finishing second runners-up in a pub quiz, and all of a sudden I had to jump out of bed to get on the sports bar and break the news. And then I went back to bed And about half an hour later, at 12:15 in the morning, Nottingham Forest made it official that Nuno Espírito Santo has been sacked by the club for what they call recent circumstances. And I think we all know what those recent circumstances are. They're saying that it wasn't in their mind to part company with their manager before that explosive press conference you were playing out with Nuno Espírito Santo, talking about the breakdown in his relationship with Evangelos Marinakis. I'm not sure that's completely true, because if you go right back to the start of this saga, there was a report in a newspaper, I think it was over in Italy at the time actually, that Marinakis was sounding out potential replacements for Nuno, including Ange Postecoglou, the former Tottenham manager. And I think it was that article that really got under the skin of Nuno. That's why he came into the press conference, defied club orders, as far as I understand. He was told to play it down, this rift with the owner, and of course he did the complete opposite.
Crookie, for me, the only real surprise is it came at 11 o'clock last night, at 11:30. You know, that's the only real surprise. I was saying to Jeff, and I don't know whether you agree, the one thing Nuno is a very intelligent man. He's done a fantastic job at Nottingham Forest, and he's not daft enough to think that statement that he made at the press conference isn't going to get the hairs up in the neck of Marinakis. So, you know, there's a train of thought that he knew exactly what he was doing. Well, he did. I don't think there's any train of thought. He knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ali, especially as he was briefed, as I say, by the club not to say anything that would inflame the situation. And obviously, he decided to ignore that advice. I think the surprise for me was that he continued after that draw against Palace. It was 2 days before the game that he made those comments. I guess that would have been too late to make a change. Marinakis wouldn't have wanted to cause too much dressing room upheaval, but not only did he manage that game, of course, he also took charge of the defeat at home to West Ham. I guess the thinking from Marinakis would be that the international break is as good a time as any to change managers. But I agree with you, and actually there are parallels here to what happened towards the end of his tenure at Wolves, when he was quite spiky in press conferences. I think it's almost like Nuno decides when his journey has come to an end, and this has been reaching boiling point, I think, throughout the summer. Obviously, Edu has gone in there, former transfer guru at Arsenal, to oversee all of Marinakis' football clubs. There was a disagreement between the pair, Nuno and Edu, about Adama Traore, former Wolves player that Nuno was keen to take to the City ground. My understanding is that Edu blocked that particular transfer. He wasn't happy either about the signing of Douglas Luiz, not because he doesn't think he's a good player, but I think he just felt that he didn't have a big enough say in that transfer. And something I highlighted at the time that this rift first came into the public domain, when Nuno first made those comments, was there was a disagreement as well between Edu and the manager about the playing style. I think his remit is to bring in a more entertaining brand, a more attacking style of football. Obviously, Forest's success last season, and it was success, you can't argue that, they were flirting with the Champions League places right up until the last day of the campaign, was built on not having much of the ball, hitting on the counter-attack, and I don't think Nuno particularly wanted to change that style. So I do agree with you. I think the writing has been on the wall here for some time.
Crookie, very, very briefly, do you think the next incumbent has already been lined up?
I do, personally. The brief coming out of Forest is that isn't the case, but obviously, because this has been bubbling away under the surface for several weeks now, I'd be surprised if there isn't a replacement lined up. Ange Postecoglou was the name, as I say, mentioned when we first heard about the fact that Nuno could be replaced, and I think he would be keen to take the job. He's keen to come back to English football. Other names we mentioned last night, Marco Silva at Fulham is someone that Evangelos Marinakis really admires. He's got a release clause in his contract, and I'm not sure he's particularly happy with life at Craven Cottage after the summer transfer window. Jose Mourinho has been mentioned, but that wouldn't really tick the box of a more expansive playing style. And then you look at managers in work in the Premier League, if Forest want to go down that route. Andoni Iraola at Bournemouth, who's obviously done a brilliant job there. Oliver Glasner, I think, is someone who could be tempted away from Palace, because, again, he's been making noises all summer throughout the sale of Eberechi Eze and the potential departure of Mark Gay, that maybe all is not well at Selhurst Park. But I would expect a pretty quick resolution to this. I think there could even be a new manager in time for the weekend. I think they play Arsenal, don't they, on Saturday?
Yeah, Crookie, you can call me an old cynic, mate. I probably think that the hunt for the manager started at the end of that interview with Nuno, to be really honest with you.
Absolutely.
Or even before, Alex.
Yeah, well, you're correct, mate.
But you haven't got time to call him an old cynic because we're out of time. Thanks, Crookie.
Cheers, Crookie.
Thanks, guys.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.